Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. How's it going? I was not here on the weekend because boy, was I busy, but I'm very happy to be with you today, making up for lost time. We are going to be discussing first numerology number 4. And as you may have remembered from previous talks, numerology number 4 has to do with foundations, structures. It has to do with being able to zoom out and see the bigger picture, being able to see all the pieces of the puzzle and being able to bring those pieces together so that you can see the whole thing. It is associated with the 4th chakra, which is the heart chakra, also the color green, related to life, all of the conditions, that are conducive for life, chlorophyll, things like that. It is about unconditional love. And it is one of those numbers that is actually my life path number. It is a number that comes with a lot of life lessons, a lot of structure, and a lot of self-discipline. So remember life path 4, very important. We are going to get started right away. Over the weekend, I was so busy that I honestly did not even have time to reflect on what I might talk about. But as soon as I did my meditation this morning, everything I needed to say just jumped on me. And so I have a lot to cover. And I'm hoping, though, I won't be on too long. Hi, Mom. My mom just signed on. How's it going there? Mom, you signed on with both your accounts at the same time. How'd you do that? Okay. At any rate, we are going to talk about life between acts. Right now, for me, and maybe for a lot of people, there is a distinct sense of being between acts, phases, stages, between lives, maybe. So if you think of a stage, right now what's happening is that the props are being dismantled, the props are being removed, cleared from the stage, and you're settling into this waiting period of sorts where it is this cosmic tranquility between lives. It's like you know that you've had a previous life, you had some previous experiences. Maybe that was your first act, maybe that was your second act, and now there's this intermission. And this is an intermission before you move into your 3rd act or just your next life. And so the question is, what are you doing during this intermission? So we know that it's a time, a dispensation even, for rest, a dispensation to reflect on the lessons and the wisdom that you glean from this previous life or this previous act. And so you really want to use this time, this dispensation like a kind of spa, like an existential spa or a cocoon or whatever metaphor works for you, where you are now in a preparatory mode, where there's a reflection and there's recalibration. Okay, and so there is going to be a designated time for you to emerge from this cocoon that you're in right now. And if it feels like a setup for a come up, it is. But there's a caveat. All right? There is a caveat here. And the caveat is that during this intermission, this dispensation, you are given the opportunity to reestablish a new paradigm, a new pattern. Listen to me. Your actions during this time, your responses to people and situations and events and thoughts and emotions are being recorded. Of course, they always are being recorded, right? By your subconscious, by spirit, by God. But right now, it is so important that you are mindful about your responses, because your responses are going to set up the new frequency for your new life, the new frequency that's going to undergird, that's going to be the foundation for your new life, for your new act. So you want to use your time mindfully, because this is an opportunity to create an entirely new reality, one that demonstrates your highest ideals, your intentions, your true creativity. It's a time to even practice and make adjustments so that you can perfect the new paradigm. So this is a time where you're given time to practice. You're given time to try on your new outfit. What's up, 5 Pillar brother? What's going on? You're given time to try on your new outfit, your new costume. You're given time to recast yourself for this third act or this second act or this new life that is waiting for you. There's going to be a point there where you're going to hear action. You're going to have to go. So this is time to go over your lines. This is time to reflect on things that did not go well in the last life, things that did not go well in the last act. Look over your lines and make sure you got them right this time. Look over the mistakes that were made and use those and apply those as wisdom in this next life, in this next act that's coming up, okay? So this is a time that the things that you are mulling over, the way that you are living and thinking right now as you're chilling in the cut, you are exhibiting and disclosing your authentic self. So the true you is on display for God to see. The true you is on display for spirit to see. The true you right now is being displayed. It's wide open because you are in limbo. You are in transition. You are between acts. You know that when you're having a conversation with someone, those of you who've been around the block and you've been to the rodeo a couple of times, it's not what they say that matters. Oftentimes it's that silence between words that will speak volumes of truth. It's the silence between the words where all the information is found. So this silent period, this existential tranquility that you are experiencing between lives, between acts, is where you are revealing the true you. You are revealing who you really are at your core right now. And God is recording it and is going to use the frequency that you are disclosing right now, the frequency that you're emanating right now. That is going to be the foundation and structure that your new life and your new act is going to be founded on. So be careful and be mindful. It's nothing to be afraid of because this is all you're doing. You're creating it. But be mindful and aware that you in fact are setting the tone and the tenor and the paradigm for your next life. And I don't mean the one that's going to happen in 1,000 years. I'm talking about this next act that's coming up in the fall, in the winter, in the spring. You are in between acts. You are in between lives. So it is what is happening at this time that you're chilling in the cut that is going to determine how your life is going to go. So again, use this time to practice, use this time to perfect, use this time to gain and cultivate an awareness of your thoughts and your emotions. Gain an awareness of how you are responding to stimuli, how you are responding to people and events and situations, because the way you respond is actually setting up a pattern for your life. What do you need to do? Well, here's some final hacks I want to share with you, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to make sure that as you're observing yourself, because those of you who are on this live with me, those of you who check me out, you're on a level that is spiritual. You're on a level of self-awareness where you're connected to spirit and you can observe yourself. You can observe your actions and you can make adjustments. The key here is that you want to take a self-inventory so you catch yourself when you feel that you're lapsing into an expired pattern. When you see yourself lapsing into an expired pattern, one that you've already mastered, one that you already are self-aware of, you are only human and you're going to make mistakes. But this is a nice practice period. This intermission between acts is a practice period for you to catch yourself as often as possible, so that when they say action and it's ready for you, it's time for you to get on stage, you are not going to so easily fall back into an old pattern or an old paradigm or an old way of thinking or an old way of seeing things. You will have used this time wisely to practice and perfect yourself, so that the new pattern is one that is going to be fulfilling and productive and fruitful and bring you the quality of life that you deserve, the quality of life that you have been envisioning. Okay? So the next thing I want to say is that you want to take care of that primary relationship in your life. Okay? And some of you already know what I'm going to say. And for some of you, this may be novel. That primary relationship in your life is the relationship with yourself. Let me say that again. It is the relationship with yourself that is the primary relationship. So what do? Well, you're going to practice on yourself. What do you mean, practice on myself? You're going to practice loving yourself the way you're supposed to be loved. You're going to practice parenting yourself. You're going to practice advising yourself. You're going to practice catching yourself and coaching yourself in areas that you know you need it. You're not waiting for someone on the outside of you to swoop down and save you. You're not waiting for someone to jump in and handle things for you. You are going to observe yourself, and you are going to, number one, love yourself by disciplining yourself and making sure you stick to whatever plan and action that you've set for yourself. Okay? So how you treat yourself, this is important coming up. How you love yourself and how you treat yourself is how your life is going to treat you. How you treat yourself, that is your relationship, that primary relationship that you have with yourself, the way you treat yourself fundamentally, unconsciously, is the way life is treating you. It always has and always will. This is an opportunity to make an adjustment. You're in transition. You're in the intermission. You're in this dispensation stage between acts, between lives. Make that correction. Make that recalibration to treat yourself in a way that is going to allow life to treat you well. So take care of yourself, okay? And this is the hack. As you perfect that relationship with yourself and you spend meaningful time with yourself, getting to know yourself and what your true needs are, and accepting what those true needs are, and taking care of yourself, taking care of your joy, taking care of your fulfillment and satisfaction, you are opening up a gateway to spirit. You're opening up a gateway to God, because what happens when you take care of yourself that way is now you are becoming parallel with spirit. You are becoming parallel with your higher self, because that is what they've been doing. They've been loving us unconditionally. They have been showing us unconditional love and showing us the lessons of life that are going to benefit us, that are going to allow us to expand and allow us to live lives that are high quality and full of wisdom. When you begin to treat yourself with unconditional love, you are now synchronizing. You're now in sync with your higher self. You're now in sync with God. You're now in sync with spirit. And that is the portal, that is the gateway to a connection with God that is completely sustaining, and it is self-sustaining and generating and gives you all the power that you need to live a balanced and beautiful, fulfilling life. Okay? So when you connect with yourself, you begin to realize that you are finally opening up to a connection to God. What's up, Boyd? Good to see you. You're going to have to listen to this one. I can't repeat it all, but you're going to have to listen to this one, okay? So on a daily basis, and this is what I'm going to leave you all with, on a daily basis, you want to set the intention and desire to connect with God, to connect with Spirit. Because it is when you do that, when you set that desire and that intention to connect with God and to Spirit, whether it be through meditation, whether it be through just reflecting, whether it be through just realizing that as you love yourself, you are now doing what God does, because God truly loves you. God truly loves you in ways that you can't fathom. And when you begin to focus on loving yourself and understanding who you really are, now you are in sync with God. Now you are in sync with your higher self. Now you are in sync with Spirit, because that is what they are doing. Are you following me? And when you do that, you raise your vibration and you're in sync with the highest vibration of love. So when you decide, you know what, from now on, I'm realizing that as I love myself, I'm realizing how much God loves me. And I'm realizing that as I connect to God, then I know exactly what to do in my life. I know exactly how to love myself. And as I love myself the way God loves me, guess what happens? Now, and finally now, you know how to love others. You didn't know how to love them before. But when you learn how to love yourself and understand how much God loves you, then and only then are you able to authentically and unconditionally, with boundaries, love others. And now when you love, it is from the overflow of your heart. It is from the overflow of what you've already done to engage with yourself, to love yourself and to take care of yourself, and practice and perfecting how to do that. And now that you begin to master how to love what God has gifted you, now you are able to demonstrate that kind of love. This is the kind of love that puts you in parallel and in sync with Spirit. Now you are able to love others. And guess what else happens? Now God, now Spirit can use you as a conduit to love others, to send them messages, to be a model and exemplar for maybe some of the things they can be doing, to show them lessons. When you commit yourself to have a connection to God, to Spirit, now you can be used. Now you can be leveraged as a light worker. Now the true and unconditional and most powerful source in the universe, the love of God, can move through you and touch the world. Okay? So what I will leave you with is this. In this intermission between acts, be mindful of how you spend your precious essence and energy and time. It is the highest currency. That's all I have for you all this week. I love you. So good to see you. Check this out. I'm going to upload it as soon as possible. And I will see you next week. Take care.